Okay, so in this video, this is going to be a short video that I wanted to follow up. Now, this was the result that we ended up with in the last video. So one thing I wanted to introduce is this idea of repeated decimals, patterns, right, where it's what we call a repeated decimal. I mentioned that in the last video, but let me just formally define what this is. So what we mean is, like, for example, 1/3, 3 is going to keep repeating. That is what we call a repeated decimal. 4/11ths, it's going to be 3 6 3 6 3 6 repeating, okay? Or if I take 1/7, right? 1/7 is also a repeating decimal, but this one repeats 0.142857, 142857, and on. So this one keeps repeating a much larger pattern. Okay, and so that's one of the patterns that you see with sevens. Okay, so if I take 2 7ths, that one's going to be 0.2857142857, right? Oops. 142857, and then it keeps repeating 142857. Okay, so the question is, how can I write these when let's say I don't want approximate. What if I want the exact decimal? So as you heard me earlier, these were the approximate equivalent decimals, right? What if I want the exact equivalent decimal? Well, then we can write it a couple of different ways. We can write it, like, for example, in this case, we can just put the ellipsis in front and back of it and say, and that means that it just keeps going in like fashion with the same pattern. So if this one was 0.3636 with an ellipsis at the end, that just means, okay, the pattern keeps going with 3 6. Okay? A more common and better way is to use a repeating bar to show it with a symbol. Okay, instead of ellipsis, we can show it with a bar over the numbers that are going to repeat. So if I wanted the exact answer for 1/3, then what I could do is put a bar over the 3, and that means that the 3 keeps going on and on and on. And if I wanted to get the exact answer, give the exact equivalent decimal for this one, then what I would do is I would just put a bar over the 3 and the 6, which tells you that the 3 and the 6 are going to keep repeating over and over again. And likewise, if I did 1/7, then what I would do is I would just write the first part until it repeats. So 142857. And since I know that this repeats the pattern, I just put a bar over it. And so everyone who sees this knows, okay, this pattern is going to keep repeating itself to infinity. Okay, and then like this one here, you could do the same thing. Okay, you could put it here. Okay, or another way to write this, because sevens are special because they have the same repeating digits, just they just start in different places. You could write this as this way, right? So notice the 142857 is here, and then with 2 7ths, it just moves because basically you're starting 2 digits higher. Okay, so it goes from 1 to 2. So 2857, 142857. So you could write it this way as well. Okay, and then of course 3 7ths. Well, 3 7ths would be then starts at the 4. So this would be 0.42857, 142857. And if you now again, you could start it here. This whole pattern repeats itself like this, or you could write this part, and then when you get to the 142857, do it that way. Again, I mean, that's up to you how you want to do it, but typically, just remember we could write it, these are the most common ways that we're going to get into, okay? That's it. Have a great day.